Leaving the EU would lead to more jobs, a non-racist immigration policy and allow the government to help the steel industry, Michael Gove has said. In a live Q&A, the pro-Leave Justice Secretary urged voters to trust themselves and take back control. He was pressed on his campaign's controversial claim that £350 million a week is spent on the EU. The Remain side said he had failed to set out a credible plan for Britain outside the EU. The Sky News interview followed Thursday night's show, which had a similar format but featured Prime Minister David Cameron, who is campaigning for Remain. Mr. Gove criticised the Prime Minister's performance, describing it as depressing and an exercise in trying to scare you. Challenged on the lack of international leaders and organizations backing his side, he said the public had had enough of experts saying they know what is best and getting it consistently wrong. He repeatedly targeted the elites of the EU and criticised their invincible arrogance. Questioned on the £350 million figure, which has been criticised by the chairman of the UK Statistics Authority, Mr. Gove said he was happy to have the claim independently audited and described it as the difference between the total amount we hand over and what we get back. The important thing, he said, was we don't have control of that money. The Justice Secretary described the EU as a job-destroying machine but also said, I can't guarantee every person currently in work in their current job will keep their job. Vote Leave have been campaigning hard on immigration in recent days, and Mr. Gove said that by leaving, the UK could have an inclusive, non-racist immigration policy that works in the interest of everyone in this country. He faced several hostile questions from the audience, with one man comparing him to a World War I general sending his soldiers over the top with no idea what's on the front line. Responding to a Port Talbot steel worker who asked how he should vote to protect his job, Mr. Gove said leaving the EU would allow the government additional flexibility to step in and support struggling industries. Afterwards, the Stronger In campaign highlighted Mr. Gove's comment about people keeping their jobs, and said Leave could not name a single expert, economic institutions, business, or foreign ally who supports them quitting Europe. The Leave campaign and Michael Gove failed to set out a credible plan for Britain outside the EU, and were called out on it by the public, Stronger In said. Mr. Cameron, whose party is split on the EU, has refused to take part in any head-to-head TV debates with fellow Conservatives who back leaving the Union. But a number of debates and live Q&As are planned, including the BBC's event at Wembley Arena on June 21. In his appearance, the PM was pressed on immigration from within the EU, warning that voting to leave in order to try to control it would trash the economy.